Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly welcome you to Marley State of Mind. You know what the fuck it is. You know what time it is, motherfucker. Let's go.
It's a motherfucking podcast. Yeah, it's a motherfucking podcast. Hey, it's a goddamn podcast. Yeah, it's a motherfucking podcast, bitch. Yeah, it's a podcast, bitch. It's a goddamn podcast.
What up? Welcome to another episode of the world's dopest podcast, Marley State of Mind. And tonight, it's no different than any other night. We got a very special guest for you, and his name is Big Jerm. What's going on, Jerm? How you feeling?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm feeling lovely, man. I appreciate you joining us out here today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I always like to start off the show by saying how I came across the artist, how I was introduced to the particular artist. We won't make this one any different. And the first time I remember meeting you or coming across you was at IDlabs, of course. And I want to say I had a session with Josh, or I was supposed to have a session with Josh. And for some reason, what up, Josh? For some reason, Josh wasn't able to make it, or he was running, doing typical Josh things. I love you, Josh, but you do Josh things. And you end up taking a session for me. And I think ever since then, we were locked in. And at the time, I didn't even know you made beats, bro. And you were an excellent engineer, on point. Never had to say a word to you. If I stopped, you already knew what to do with it, which was everything to me. What up, Griff? Shout out to all the people tuning in. That was so clutch for me, because when you got an engineer who's tuned in and locked in, and because your time is money. Especially at a studio like IDlabs where you're paying the prices that you're paying per hour, you want to make sure you get as much work in as possible. So when you got someone who's tuned in and locked in, and you were on point, bro. You're not messing around. You ain't doing nothing else but recording the music. And when I'm stopping, you're going back, you're punching, like everything's crispy. Then later on, I go to listen to Prince of the City 2, and I'm looking through the liner notes, and I see that you produced a track on there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the track on there? I know the words.
Getting it.
I'm like, damn, Jerm makes beats too. Like, this shit's fire. And it was real soulful. The sound that we all know you for today. And so I believe the next time I see him, I'm like, bro, you make beats? Like, I heard the beat, and you started playing me some of the beat. What up, Bishop? Jerm on the boards. So you started playing me some beats, and you actually played that beat for me, the Getting It beat, showed me the breakdown of it, which was super dope. And I asked you for a beat disc, bro. And I don't know if you remember this. This is insane that you did this. And you did this at the time. You gave me an actual beat disc, no tags on it, like 25 bangers, like crazy joints, 25 crazy Jerm beats with no tags, bro. And I grabbed some of them. You told me I couldn't have some because they were going somewhere else. And you told me I could have the other ones, and I grabbed some beats from you at that time. And we negotiated a price, and I got a steal of a deal from you. I ain't gonna lie. Knowing what we know today, I got a steal of a deal from you. And the rest was history. And I returned the CD back to you, by the way. I was a solid dude. I didn't take anything you told me I couldn't have, and I returned the CD back to you.
I appreciate that.
Real solid shit, bro. But yeah, man. So welcome.
Thank
Legend,
you.
for sure.
Thanks
for
for
sure,
having
legend.
me.
Yeah, man. So what was that time like for you? So how long? So we're talking like circa 2010, 2009. How long was you at IDlabs at that time?
Not too long, for real. So actually, Prince of the City 2, the first thing I did for Wiz was like 2007. So I met E then. Like, I had to drop the tracks off for the beat.
Yeah.
So I met E then, and nothing really happened. And then like a year later, like 2008, I started interning. And then Josh actually got in a car accident.
I remember that.
So then that's when I was like, E basically called me and was like, you need to be here like every day. So
yeah,
that's basically how it happened. And then, I was kind of like waiting for Josh to just get healthy and then be like, he would take his people back or whatever. And then I think like, not to say anything negative about Josh, but I think
because we love Josh. Yeah. What up, Josh?
Josh is a good dude, but
for sure
he was a little flaky sometimes. So,
yeah. Doing Josh things.
Yeah. So people didn't necessarily always want to go back to Josh. So it kind of just went from there. And then like, and Wiz too back then, because he was still in Pittsburgh, like he would just hit me up to do sessions, and I like, you know what I mean? I had nothing else going on. So.
You were one of the main engineers down at IDlabs at that time. Yeah.
And E had stopped recording by then. So, yeah. So I was just always there at that point, like
For sure.
09.
Yeah, '09. So we're gonna rewind it back. You know what I mean? We took it there, but so I know you're a soulful dude. I know you like a lot of vinyl, you like a lot of those old school records. And it shows a lot of the influence of your music and all of that. What was your first musical influence? Like, do you remember the first time you fell in love with music, or your first the first records, or the first moments in music where you were like, damn, like this does something to my soul?
Well, it's kind of funny because it's like, I'm older. I don't know how old you are. I'm 37, but the first shit that I really remember, I like Crisscross and MC Hammer and shit when I was little. And then even like Naughty by Nature and stuff too. So like that, like Hip Hop Hooray was one of the first ones where I was like, I like the beat.
Yeah.
Like I like the beat so much. I wasn't making beats back then, but I'm just saying like that kind of like hit me. And then I went through different phases.
You know, that song is the most played stadium song of
really?
any song. Hip Hop Hooray. Crazy. Shout out to Naughty by Nature for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's fire, bro. So that's what. So was that what attracted you to hip hop? Was the beats?
Yeah,
essentially.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like even back then, I didn't even think about it like that, but yeah, that's what hit me first. Like it was like different to me. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
And then from there, it was just like I had different phases with music, but then at a certain point, it started making sense, like what they were sampling and stuff. So
yeah.
It's like I started getting into like, really, I'd say like when I really started making beats was like Rockefeller, like Just Blaze and Kanye and Heat Makers and stuff. So.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I could definitely feel that in a lot of the stuff that you do, that type of vibe, that type of feeling. And let's let it be known, you certainly got that versatility too. You got them bangers. But I know the soulful vibe for sure. So did you start getting into the soul music later on? Because I know you keep a lot of vinyl now. You play a lot of that stuff in your leisure.
It kind of went from there, just trying to like figure it out, like research different stuff and like find samples that other people did just to like hear how they did it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that kind of led to just like doing that myself, but also I got into like the soul music too, just like to listen to.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because of that.
Hell yeah. So you're first, and it's funny because you fuck with the boards heavy. It seems like skateboard and hip hop are closely related, like the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they always seem to beat with a message. Somebody said, some people, I'm not sure what you mean.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. But nonetheless, they seem like they always twine skateboarding and hip hop. So I always think how it's funny that correlation comes to be. So when you first started making beats, do you remember what time that was in your life, or what programs? What did you first start using? How did that come about? What made you first start making beats?
It was actually like 20 years ago, like early 2003, and some kid had Fruity Loops. It was like 3.5 or something like that. It was some early number. Yeah, it was an early one. So I don't know. I just started messing with it and got obsessed with it. That's really all it was. Like I was just trying to figure out how other people were making beats, and yeah, I just was obsessed with it at that point.
Did you figure out how to sample at that time, or you just freestyling, just messing with sounds and drum kits and all that stuff?
No, it was sampling, because I was like, back then I was weird. Like I didn't like Swiss beats and like those kind of beats. Like, even like the Neptunes, like not like hating on it, but like it wasn't for me at the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't even like shit that didn't have a sample back then. Like I wasn't listening to people's shit if it didn't have a sample. So.
Really? Not even like Timberland?
Not really.
Damn, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I wouldn't even like play it.
Yeah, for sure.
It sounds weird now, but yeah, that's how I was back
Looking
then.
back on it, tell them sample what's love got to do with it next. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Oh, okay. I'm still not sure what you're getting across, but yeah. I think more or less they're trying to ask, what was the first music that you heard that with a message, that spoke to you? Whether it was like Nas, Tupac, Big, or whatever it may be.
Probably like Mos Def. Like he was one of my favorite rappers back then. When I got back into hip hop a lot.
Yeah.
Like 99. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Mos Def definitely had some bangers. That whole Black Star shit was fire for sure. All right, so you first started making beats, and you're just doing it for yourself at the time, or you got homies that do music, or you're just in the room fucking with the beats in your leisure.
Only people I really hung out with at the time skated. Like that's all I did for years. Like I didn't care about shit
right
but skating for so long. And then I started making beats and like nobody, like even them, like I actually got sponsored that same year that I started making beats. So like
for skateboarding.
Yeah, just
that's fire.
this skate shop called One Up in Pittsburgh. So I was sponsored by them like when they first opened. And it was kind of like, you know, some of them would be like mad at me that I would be like making beats instead of
skating. Yeah.
So
yeah, how did you I mean, so from going to one thing you're passionate about to finding this new thing you're passionate about, was it a tough transition? Did you have a hard time like letting that go, or putting it to the wayside, or did music just take you over that much to where it didn't even matter?
I kind of like balanced it for a while, but then when I really started being at the studio, it just like I didn't have time to really do shit else
but be at the studio.
Yeah, like for a while I tried, but it got to the point where it was like I had to choose, and then I was making money doing music.
Making music, yeah.
I never, you know, like I was good at skating, but I wasn't that good that I was gonna make money. You know what I mean? So
you weren't looking to turn pro at skating.
No, I understood what it was like. Like pros would come to town and stuff, like on tour and stuff, and like you see the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I was good, but I wasn't that good, and I knew that. You know,
for sure. So what was the first point of validation that you had? So you start making beats in your room. You're really just by yourself. Who were the first people that you start listening to your music and like, yeah, bro, you got something here. Like you need to take this to the next level.
Really, like BZE. I don't know if you know him.
I remember, bro, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good rapper. He moved back to San Francisco, but he was the first one that was like, was the first one that like rapped on a beat back. It was like 04 probably, 04, 05. And then from there, he kind of like told people about me, like Brick at Time Bomb.
Yeah,
and like
shout out Brick.
Yep, definitely shout out Brick. And then so from there, like Boaz got on some stuff back then. And then after that, I met.
That's when you first started. Like you were getting guys like this on your beats.
Yeah, that didn't like that was like Boaz was probably like 06, 07, probably 07 because I went to audio engineering school in New York in 06.
Okay.
And I got back like 07. So that was probably about when like, you know, I'd say like summer of 07, I probably like got something Boaz.
That's crazy. How did that come about? Did you submit a beat or?
It was just Brick. Like I knew Brick from.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, like so One Up the skate shop. Like I used to work there too.
Okay.
And then for a period of time, they were in Time Bomb, like in the back of the store. I don't know if you all remember that, but yeah, they were in there. So like I would be with Brick all the time and like just gave people beat CDs.
For sure, and to give people history, for those who may not know the names or recognize them, Brick and Time Bomb are like. Time Bomb is a shop here. It's a clothing boutique shop, and Brick is the owner of Time Bomb. Time Bomb was one of the first places in the city where you can get local music, local mixtapes, and Brick himself is a character. Shout out Brick. Brick knows a lot of artists from New York. Brick helped a lot of established artists to get their start and to get featured on different tracks with guys from like D Block and numerous New York acts. So Brick was always kind of like one of those gatekeepers in Pittsburgh, and he also owned Time Bomb Shop, which was not only, you know, super dope shop to go to and get clothes from, which it still is. Go to Time Bomb right there on Penn Ave and do some shopping. They still got those local mixtapes for you. So Brick's one of those people that everyone goes to Time Bomb if you're doing local music. Mm-hmm. And he kind of validates it. And if Brick is selling your CD, then you did something. You felt like like this is a big deal. I'm up there. And Boaz was good friends, or is good friends with Brick. So that would make sense. Just to give you guys, in case you don't recognize the names that we're saying.
Yep.
But no, so you were working at the skateboard shop, and it was in close proximity to Time Bomb, and then it actually ended up being inside of Time Bomb.
Yep.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah. They were at they had a skate park right before that, and then that kind of fell through. So then they ended up in Time Bomb.
I think I recall that. I think I recall the skate.
Only like a year.
Yeah, he said it was like a big liability. Like skateboarding's, it's tough. Like once you get into skateboarding, like
you're saying for a park.
Yeah, to have a park. Yeah, it's a lot of liabilities with that.
Definitely.
Because people are constantly like you're getting broken when you're skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like it's happening.
Definitely.
But yeah, no, that's fire. So that was your first introduction. That was your first introduction into the hip hop scene.
Pretty much, yeah. Like the real and I did like a beat battle at Shadow Lounge one time.
Yes, yes.
I didn't win, but I did that, and then yeah, maybe like '07, like I said, Rick got a CD to Chad Glick, who was Wiz's first manager.
Yes.
So yeah, he picked a couple, and then that was kind of how that started with Wiz.
So you got placement through that as well, and Brick put that play together.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow, that's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope. Shout out Brick, man, for being such the person he is, to always look out for the local hip hop scene, and he understands that, you know, given to people can be so beneficial in so many ways. Like, look what you've become because he decided to give you these opportunities. You know what I mean?
And so, Mac too, kind of saying.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely helped him too.
Oh, 100%, 100%, 100%. So of course, so you're doing the stuff with Boaz. Is that how you got introduced into IDlabs to begin with? How did that come about?
Yeah, like I said, it was just like that kind of stuff because they all recorded there already. So if I ever had to like give them the track outs for the beats, like I would take it to E. So like I think at first he was just like, yeah, whatever, like didn't take me seriously, and then
yeah. He probably has that happen all the time. Like,
yeah,
people coming there trying to tell him, yeah.
And I wasn't like running my mouth, but I was just like, yeah, I went to engineering school, all that shit. And
right.
Nothing really happened, and then like a year later, I was like, could I just like intern or whatever?
Did he have other engineers in there at that time, or was he just the only one really engineering?
Josh was there.
Josh, yeah.
This was like right after DJ Huggy left too.
Okay.
So it was really just E and Josh at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I started just like interning, which is basically just like cleaning the toilet and shit.
Working for free, a lot of work for free. Yeah.
Definitely.
Paying your dues. And that's another theme that I find common whenever I'm doing these podcasts with artists is paying your dues and how that pays off dividends, because there's so many things that you have to do. You know, whether it be money for videos or money for recording or mixing and mastering, like you can't cut these certain steps. And for you, it was given labor, man hours, and it paid off in dividends for you. So you're interning down IDlabs. Are you taking sessions at that time, or?
He didn't like totally trust me yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't have a key yet or anything. So I was just kind of like if there was a session I could do while he was there, like I could do it in the front room type thing. So yeah, I would do that a little bit. And then at one point, he gave me keys, and then like Wiz would hit me up at like 10 p.m. and like we'd be there all night. So recording
sessions.
Yeah, because Josh kind of would be like over it sometimes. So
yeah, because you get burnt out a lot.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of music. Oh, man. So you start taking sessions with Wiz. You're recording with these guys, and like I said, I know how talented you are in your craft of recording and mixing and mastering, and obviously these guys are starting to find out the same thing, and they're taking a shine into you. So you get the placement. You had the placement on the Wiz album before you met him on the Prince of the City too.
I met him real quick, like that day that Chad got a beat CD. Like Wiz came in too, and it was just like, what's up? And this was like 5XT Wiz.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
early days.
Yeah. So I met him real quick, but he was just like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like he didn't even know, like he didn't hear beats yet or anything. So he was like, yeah, what's up? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
real casual.
Real quick, but
for sure.
But yeah, I had met him like real quick, and then from there,
you got more familiar when you were engineering. When you started taking over the sessions.
Yep.
So do you remember, what was your first big placement? What was the first song that you were like, wow, like do you remember what that track was for you, or what those songs might have been where it's like, damn, I feel like this is really taking off?
Honestly, like on like Rolling Papers, like his first album, or like, you know, we met Juicy J like early 2011 probably. So yeah. Just shit like that where I was like, I never thought I would meet people like that.
Yeah.
You know, I met Diddy on tour with Wiz. You know
how crazy was that?
And like that movie Get Him to the Greek just came out that he's in. So it was like, it was just funny. Like I saw him in a movie like the week before, and then
you're seeing these people in real life now.
Yeah, that shit was weird. So
your dreams are coming to fruition now. And it happened in a short amount of time for you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like you're doing all this stuff quick, so you're still learning on the fly. You're getting better as you go.
Yeah, like I said, when I was first at ID, like when I first started recording Wiz, or even like that, like those first couple years, like 09, like, you know what I mean? I was learning, like, you know what I mean? Like I would always go in there like hoping nothing would go wrong, like until I like figured out how to, you know, like at a certain point I was like, no matter what goes wrong, I'm good. Like I can figure it out. But like for a
and I'm
while,
sure school will help too. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but having that live training, it's nothing like that. Like, right? Because you're having things happen. You're having real life scenarios happen that's
Yep.
not happening in school. You got motherfuckers smoking and drinking and what I mean, shit like that. So I'm probably sure that throws off your focus as well
Yep.
for what you're trying to accomplish and what you because you still have a job at the end of the day and for those guys, it's a job when we're talking about guys like Wiz, but you're also recording other guys who it's not a job for. But for those guys, when you're recording, it's a job for them, but they're still there to have a good time. But you got to be precise, and the job that you're doing is so important to the finished product.
Yep.
So it's a lot
And
different.
that's the thing.
You.
It's like it's service industry. You know what I mean? Like I'm there for them. Like it's not about me. If like as the engineer, like it's not about you. It's about the artist. So
yeah,
that's how I always looked at it. Like I'm
serving the artist.
Yeah, whatever they need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's pretty much it.
For those just tuning in, we're here with Big Jerm, Bunch of Bull Studios, and you're here at Marley State of Mind. That's for the live viewers. For y'all just catching on YouTube, you already know what time it is. So you start engineering, you're doing these things. Things are taking off quick, and at the time that you're at IDlabs, like it's a lot of things happening. Like Wiz is taking off, Max coming into the game, and these things, and you're the main engineer there, so you're getting all these sessions. You're seeing these things take place. With that being said, like for you, what is the difference that you notice between from those rappers who have success and the ones who don't obtain that success, and even the rappers that have the talent? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of young artists out here that's watching right now, and they're like, and they might be really talented. What's the difference that you notice between the guys that make it and the guys who don't make it?
It's like two things, really. It's like charisma, where like certain people like Wiz, I noticed like early. E even said it too. Like that's why E noticed him early. There's something about him where like people are just like
that it factor, as they call
like
it.
People are just like attracted to him almost. Like pause. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, for
like,
sure.
They're
for
just like whatever he does, people like follow him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Mac was kind of the same way. Like before they ever did shit, it was like, they had that charisma, and then like a vision is the other thing too. I would say like I think some people can be good at rapping or good at whatever really, but like if you don't have like a real vision of like what you're trying to do, it's like you might get stuck in the same
just
place.
turning your tires.
Yep.
Damn, that's crazy. The vision thing. So charisma is something that you can't do. You either got it or you don't. There's nothing that you can do about that.
Yep, definitely.
But the vision, that vision, such a key thing, and I think you got to add in focus with that too, right? Because a vision without focus is nothingness. You know what I mean? You got to be set in a certain direction and keep going in that direction. And there's going to be a lot of things that deter you from that path. But no, that's great. That's great advice for the young artists out there. You heard it here first. You know what I mean? You got to come with the swag. You got to come with the charisma, and you got to have a vision for yourself.
And like confidence, but not like there's confidence and then there's like being like arrogant.
Overconfidence.
You know what I mean? Like I've been around people too, like Wiz was always like confident, but he was respectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've been around people too where they're like feeling themselves too much before they even like get to a point. They like turn people off.
I agree.
So
no, I see that, and I always use you as an example of that, bro, because you're one of the most down to earth people that I know in music.
Appreciate it.
And there's a lot of people I know who have like no accolades, no nothing, and they think because they're talented that they're owed something, or they think that you should treat them a certain way, or they think that they can treat you a certain way. And I'm like, bro, I know people who have like actual emotion and things that are going on that show the utmost respect, and that's what helps you get along there, because people don't want to deal with you if you're a certain type of way, or it makes it unappealing, or even to a fan.
Yeah,
it makes it unappealing to a fan to want to listen to you if they have a bad encounter with you.
Yep. Like I said, you turn people off before you even do anything,
before you get your foot in the door.
Yeah,
for sure. No, absolutely. That's great advice. So we're 2011. You're getting these big placements. Rolling Papers comes out, and that's going crazy. And I know you're going out on tour for the first time. What was that time like for you, bro? Being on tour and all of that stuff, especially on such a big level, like sellout nights every night. What was that time like for you?
Well, yeah, the first tour I went on, like with Wiz, it was just crazy seeing that. This was like Cushion OJ tour, like, so it was like that year. It was like right when Black and Yellow came out, so like fall of 2010, and it was just crazy seeing shit. You know, like the old IDlabs was just like a small, like it wasn't like a big spot. You know what I mean? So
it's like a studio apartment,
yeah,
maybe bigger, like, but it's not.
Like
it's tight in there.
Room, you know?
Yeah, for real, yeah.
Like it's not a big place. You know what I mean? Just seeing shit go from there to like him selling out shit on tour was crazy.
Yeah.
And then like on that tour, we all went to jail in North Carolina for trafficking.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was 10 of us. Each person's bail was like $300,000 because they
300 grand, bro.
Yeah, they were trying to get us for trafficking, and then
God damn,
Wiz and Will paid the 30 each, and then they got out, and then got everybody else's like reduced,
shit together.
But, that shit was crazy.
Was that your first time in jail?
No, but, that one was scary for sure. But I was with Ludi.
Yeah.
So he was my cellie. So
oh yeah, you straight.
He was already in jail for a while. So
yeah, this ain't nothing new to him.
He was like, we're good.
He's like, let me show you how to put this bed sheet on, bro. Hold on, watch out.
He was like, don't worry about it.
Hell yeah.
So that made me feel better.
No, hell yeah. No, that's crazy. So you're going on tour. You guys are hitting states that you've probably never even been in before, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Saying things you've never seen before. You doing a lot of recording? Are you guys recording as you're on tour?
Yeah, that one, he didn't have the studio bus, but he had like just on that, like the bedroom is in like the back of those tour buses. So
yeah,
we literally had like the Avalon, it's a preamp and compressor.
Yeah.
If people don't know what that is. And then we had a mic and actually like an M box back then. It's like for Pro Tools, like the little interface.
Yeah.
So we had that, and we would just set it up on the back of the bus.
Like some bedroom type shit, like y'all in a bedroom recording.
Yep.
Did you get any good music out of those sessions?
Yeah, we did. There's a Wiz and Juicy J song called "In My Car." We did that on there, and he did a bunch of stuff, but there's probably stuff like that never even came out that I forgot about.
You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. What's your top 3 beats that you've ever produced?
Damn.
Or your favorite? Not ever. You know what I mean? Your favorite 3.
Well, for me, it's different because some of it is like sentimental value.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
for sure.
Like Getting It is one where it's just like that was like the first thing. Like hearing him on there was cool, and then Ascension for Mac was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what else. And The Race too for Wiz. Like,
oh yeah, that's fine.
Did that,
bro. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That joint is fire, bro. Right? That's crazy.
Appreciate it.
And I noticed that about you. You collab with a lot of different producers as well.
Yeah, I like back then it was kind of just E for a little while, just because like I was always there. But then like over time, it was like we were bringing more people in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's your collaborative process? Because even to this day, you still work with a lot of different producers. How does that work for you, or is it different with every producer? Like, how does a collaboration work for you? Like, what begins that process?
Yeah, it's different with everybody. Like when I was at ID More, excuse me, like I moved to Atlanta in 2018 from like 18 to 21. So, but like before that, when I was just at ID all the time, like people would just come through and like whatever, somebody would set up a computer and then like just people would just keep adding to shit, whatever.
Hell yeah.
And then now it's like people will send me like loops and stuff, or like I'll start something and send it, wherever, and somebody else will like finish it up. So
that's fire, bro.
Yeah.
Do you have any I probably shouldn't even ask, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you have any favorite collaborators? That's because I know you work with a lot of the same guys. You and Sayaz work together a lot. Do you have any that you enjoy? I mean, not necessarily more than others, but do you have any favorite collaborators?
Yeah, Sayaz is kind of out of the music shit a little bit.
Oh, for real?
Now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, definitely him, and then like J Card, Shaw Beats.
Yeah.
Shaw lives in Atlanta now too. Nice Rec.
Yeah.
Christo, he lives in Atlanta now too. And then like I got some dudes, like there's this dude named LNK. He's in like Germany or some shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then there's another dude, Stamina. He's like in Italy. So like it's just
how did those come about? Like the linking up with those foreign producers?
Instagram, basically.
Okay.
and then they just send loops and stuff. But
yeah,
those are the two that I tend to like their shit a lot. So
yeah, that's fire. That's fire. So, oh yeah, Instagram, of course. How can we not do that? How can the people get a hold of you on social medias?
Big Jerm 412
For sure.
on everything, pretty much.
Big Jerm 412. Make sure y'all follow that, man. And are you still providing mixing and mastering service for artists or different things like that? How can people collaborate with you if they want to get with you in that way?
You get at me on social media or Big Jerm 412 at Gmail, just for whatever.
There you go. Make sure you tap in with that, man. You be doing yourself a big service, for sure. So we're getting off, yeah, of course. So we're getting off tour. You're riding the high of all that. Um, you said you moved to Atlanta. What made that play come about? What made you decide to leave the city and move to Atlanta? Was that more so for musical purposes?
It was like half. Like I was just kind of like burnt out, just recording all the time, and I was like a different place would be cool.
Yeah.
I had lived in LA in 2017 too, so but then I came back to Pittsburgh and I kind of got right back in the same like rut that I was in before I went to LA.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna try something else. And then my wife was doing acting at the time, and they film a lot of movies in Atlanta. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we went there. It was kind of for both of us, basically. So.
Yeah. Congratulations, you got married along the way.
Thank you.
For sure. How's that changed music for you, like being married? Because I'm sure a lot of things change because you have another life to take into consideration now. And I'm sure like the fact that you're not recording as much as you used to probably helps, right? Because that recording gets crazy. But has your life changed for that reason, or are you still pretty much on the same routine and schedule?
No, it definitely is more mellow now. Like I don't do. I mean, every once in a while I'll do like long sessions, but yeah. I used to be at the studio like every night. I would be E would leave at like 7.
Yeah.
So I would be there 7 to like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like every night in the old ID, and then whenever we moved to the new one, I would go in I was kind of like single for a bit, so I would just be there from like noon.
Yeah, why not
whenever,
get some paper?
You know
yeah,
I mean? Yeah.
For sure.
So I like didn't really care. So I would be there like 12 hours a day or whatever. Whether it was like recording or mixing or making beats. So I was just always there. So I don't do that shit as much anymore, like that long shit, but
hell yeah.
It's kind of more mellow now.
You said you're still taking sessions, but that's not really what you got. That's not what you're focused on.
Yeah.
So now I know you've worked with a lot of big artists. You had a lot of big, you had a lot of big artists on your records and probably a lot of artists that you thought about, but who's the artist that you haven't worked with yet that you would most like to work with, or that would be like a dream come true for you?
Jay-Z probably.
Yeah.
I mean that's impossible
crazy.
basically. But that was when I first came in, like when I first started making beats, like that was my.
You had the Jay-Z tag.
Yeah.
How'd you get the Jay-Z tag, man?
Oh, I made that.
You did
it's
that
from 2 separate songs. So he just said big in one song, and then Germs. I forget what it was. Maybe like Can't Knock the Hustle or something.
Yeah, like Germs. I burned or forgive me. I don't want the Jay-Z fans to kill me if I fuck it up. So I ain't even gonna try to attempt it.
But yeah, I just cut the S off. I just made it.
Like it was fire. It came out perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like dude shouted you out.
Yep.
That was fire. So okay, so we did that, and so let's take it. So now I know you got a lot of things in the works right now. A lot of collaboration projects you've been working on. Tell us a little bit about those collaboration projects you've been working on, and the ones that you've already done. I know you and Bill Waves have some big waves going on, and you had to be there. Just dropped. You know, what I mean, the listening party. Shout out to them boys.
Appreciate you coming.
Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we just did that. I'm doing a project with BD right now that'll probably be out pretty soon, and then the Come Up franchise and Vinny Radio. We did In Good Hands in like 2011, so we're doing In Good Hands Part 2 now.
Hell yeah. And that's gonna be special.
Yep. And we got like 30 songs, so we just got to pick from there, and then
and you boys got that done quick, because shout out franchise came on my very first episode. This is episode 10. Shout out episode 10, Marley State of Mind podcast. So it kind of comes full circle, right? And I know at that time, I don't think you guys were even working at that time on the project. So it seemed like you knocked that out, 30 tracks.
Yeah, we were talking about it for years, and then it finally, like, I don't even remember what happened, but it finally just came together where they just came, and then we started doing it like weekly like that. So yeah, we were just cranking shit out.
What up, Shonsky?
Yo.
Jerm the GOAT for sure. Definitely one of my favorite producers. So we did the big waves. Well, we're the come ups on the way. The big wave projects. How'd those come about?
Really, like, I had sent Bill beats a while ago, and he was just like, he told me he didn't know how to rap on them, or you know what I mean? Like I don't know. He like said he liked
for his
them,
ear.
Yeah. It wasn't working, and then like one day it like made sense, I guess, and then. Excuse me. By that point, those beats were like
these icy lights got me gassy too.
Yeah,
bro.
swear.
I know it.
Too many bubbles in there. He was just sitting on some beats for a while, and then it just was like, I'm just gonna use these old ones, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just led to like doing new shit too.
Hell yeah.
And that was when I was in Atlanta, really, that we started really talking about it. And then when I came back in 21, we kind of finished it up. So.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's fire. And then you had to be there, which you had to be there, and you were nice enough to share some of those moments you had to be there for with us. That's fire. And we didn't even have to be there for it, but y'all had to be here. How did that come about? How did you guys collaborate? Because I know Hoyle and Beatty were doing some projects, and you guys and shout out Billy Hoyle, shout out Beatty. I know they were doing a project as well, so I mean, it made sense, right? The homies to get together. How did that come about?
Well, I started mixing Beatty stuff, and then we were just kind of talking, and then I was sending him beats, and then Bill and him were talking, so it just kind of worked out like that, where it was like everybody was like trading stuff back and forth, like beats and verses and shit. So yeah, it just kind of came together, and then it was like with Billy, it was like he did half of it and I did half, so we just kind of split it like that.
That's fire.
Yep.
Hell yeah. So I'm gonna play something off of there for the people. You had to be there. I know you just had to listen and party. That was fire. A lot of names that we mentioned were there. Brick came out.
Yep.
He showed some love. Shout out to Brick. That's another legend. You got any song you want to play off of there?
Odyssey.
Yeah, you can see the playlist for sure.
Yeah. Big Jerm. All the art that I see turns into art I breathe. Picture me bothered, please. You should follow my lead. Pardon me while I father my seed. You wanna see him fall off like autumn leaves. Never that. You taking pics in mansions that ain't yours. Still got my name up in your mouth like canker sores. Brush your teeth. Glue some paper on the soul, Mr. Ed Jordan's, but fair warning. Play a recognized game in your face, look real foreign. Rose and roof in that concrete. I terraformed it. Your style terrible. To hear your flow is waterboarded. Used to tear my scale, put the ganja on it. A verse get sharper, sawing off the hand you drawn boss by drawing arms with. Stick figures in that bank, I got rank on you. Look how we light up that party, I'm blowing dank on you. You ain't seen a barrel spin, you was playing with dreidels, scribbling fables. This shit ain't gonna save you, You know what the fuck it is, Big Jerm, baby. Big Dro, yo. All the art that I see turns into art I breathe. Yeah, all the art that I see turns into art I breathe. You know what the fuck it is. You know I breathe this shit, baby. Yeah. And all I need is good weed, gym shorts, and a baggy tee. All summer Pittsburgh, 200 great days a year. But in my dreams, it's always sunny. Don't ever underestimate me. Motherfucker, you see the history I come from. It's the east side. When I die, I haunt the park in Highland Park or Point Breeze. That's where I'm running. I love my children, a good father to every rapper I'm sonning. I promise myself I'd do something I couldn't believe. Can't you see? I'm way too blessed for you to ever try to throw shade on me. Used to smell crack in the hallway back in 2017. Now all you smell is skunk from the haze. Since I've been living fuck shit free, they told me I'd never do shit without a college degree. I beg to differ, you're about to see, but really about this shit. Just some young OGs, vintage outfit from 2001. So my first house in 2003. All the art that I see turns into art I breathe. All the art that I see turns into art I breathe.
Yeah, that's fire, bro. Yeah, the whole project came out real lovely, and it's damn, my bad, I ain't talking to the mic. The whole project came out real lovely, and the fact that you guys came back together, and like I said, it made sense because you guys are working on the stuff at the same time. Can't do the IC lights on air no more. They're canceled. Um, so you're working on that, and you're still doing that. So what's next up? What's the plans? What we got coming? I know that's always a tough question, especially from the producer end of it.
Yeah, always like with stuff. Like I'm always sending him stuff. I've been talking to Logic lately.
Yeah,
because he was on tour with Wiz and he was like asking about me and E. So we kind of been talking and sending him stuff.
Have you worked with him in previously?
No.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, allegedly him and Wiz are going to do a project. I don't even know if I should say that, but because I don't know if that's like actually going to happen, but we'll see.
You heard it here first.
Yep.
Maybe.
I got yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I got something with Mozzie.
Oh, that's dope.
I don't know if I don't know if it'll come out, but they hit me up about it like a month ago.
Like that's the crazy part, right, from the production end, because you probably hear from a lot of artists all the time, and you're doing a lot of placements and things like that, and you're probably sending things off and hearing things, and they might come out, you might not even hear about them. They might come out and you do hear about them, or they might never. You like, is that crazy? Like, is that a crazy part of what you do?
And even that, the Mozzie thing, I sent Juicy that beat 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then somehow they got it from him, and I think he's gonna be on it too or something. And you know what I mean? Like 2 years later, like I was like, oh, like he doesn't care about that shit. And then like they hit me up. So we'll see. I mean, even that though, it's like even them hitting me up, it's like that doesn't mean it'll come out.
Right.
And then other times it's like you don't hear anything and then it comes out.
Has that happened to you before where you get excited about, like, you hear back from an artist that you've been wanting to work with and you're like, oh shit, this is about to come to life, and you just never hear it, just fizzles?
I've been doing this shit so long, like I don't even get excited until it happens, because that shit happens so much where I'm like,
yeah,
I used to be like, oh, this would be crazy if this happened, and be like all excited, and then you get let down. So
yeah,
I'll like try to
even build yourself up for that shit.
Yeah, just like wait.
Yeah, for sure.
Be hopeful, but like be positive, but still just wait.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. So you're so you go on this journey. All this shit's happening fast too for you, and you're doing it at a high level, bro. And you're seeing these things take place, and you're getting plaques now, bro. You're a part of big records. You're in history, and you know what I mean. From your vantage point, it may not seem like it is what it is, and like I said, you're such a genuine and humble dude. But like you're a real life legend to people, bro. People see you and they're like, "Yo, man, this is somebody that I want to know, someone I want to impress." You know what I mean? And you know, you look like, and Pittsburgh has such a rich history of producers.
Mm-hmm.
People don't even understand how rich of a history that Pittsburgh has in production.
Yeah, like Mailman.
Oh yes, please talk about it. Mailman, who's a fucking legend. If y'all don't know who Mailman is, please let me tell you. Worked with Dr. Dre.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that Chronic 2001. A lot of people love that. That's Pittsburgh. You know, I mean, that's a lot of Mailman production, and it's a lot of Pittsburgh artists writing on them records. Shout out my man Infinite, who was down there in Cali with them boys. You know, I mean, that's what Pittsburgh sound. Even before that, Sam Snead.
Yep.
You know, Sam Snead's responsible for like Keep Their Heads Ringing. You feel me? That's straight out of Pittsburgh, McKeesport. Black Caesar from Homewood produced for Jay-Z. You know what I mean? These are artists from Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? And then, you know, Johnny Giuliano, you know, leading in that next generation. You were a part of that. You know, Sledgerin still doing crazy big records. You know what I mean? And yourself, bro. You're one of those guys.
Thanks,
to the
and
city.
E too.
Oh yeah, how can I? Right, E-Dan. Yeah, absolutely, E-Dan, for sure. Thank you. You know what I mean? E-Dan, you know, who's one of the, I mean, he's one of the forefathers of it all. He's responsible. IDlabs created so much magic, you know what I mean? And you were a part of that magic. You helped put a lot of those plaques on that wall.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, he gave us an opportunity, you know what I mean? Like, he noticed it in Wiz, like, you know, I came through there, like he noticed Johnny too, actually.
Yeah, yep.
Even like Sayez, like had, you know, like he was there for a while. And then Mac, like, so yeah, he definitely gave us all an opportunity, and even just having like a spot like in Pittsburgh, because you know it is hard out of here, like there's talent, but it's hard to like
there's no real industry here. Yeah, there's no real industry.
So having that studio that was like basically all the hip hop shit for a while. Not all of it, but most of the hip hop shit for a while was just coming out of there. You know what I mean?
Right. So the stuff that was impactful anyway on a big level was coming out of there.
Yep.
No, for sure. And you know what I mean, like you said, like just so many things that he's responsible for, and he birthed. You know what I mean, that was the first time I ever seen Mac. I was actually because of you. You know what I mean, you were mixing down my first mixtape, Serious Business, and I didn't have a lot of money at that time, so I was paying. And Jerm was nice enough to let me pay him in installments. So I was running up the labs to make a payment to you, and you were working on kids at the time. And like you said, that charisma, like Mac was definitely one of those guys. As soon as you're in a room with him, like you could feel his presence, and he was such a loving dude, and you wanted to get to know him and be around him, and you sensed that right away. And that's the type of shit that he was able to build there. He was able to build these incredible things. He was able to be this incredible vehicle for all of these different careers. You know what I mean? And that's fire.
Definitely.
So oh, look at that. I appreciate you, JP, my dude, for sure. Definitely dope interviews. We got dope people out here with us, dope guests. There you go. Shonsky said he got a Jerm beat with Annoyed on it. Westside Gunsmoke Dizza. That sounds huge. Let me get a verse too while you at it. Freddie Gibbs and Rick Ross. What's that? Yeah, Jerm out here making dreams happen. You see that?
Nah, that'd be fire.
That'd be hella fire. Yeah, you better make that happen. Now we're gonna hold you to that, Shonsky. But yeah, do you get placements like that sometimes and have artists featured on there that you had no idea were going to be featured on a track?
Yeah, actually, he said Rick Ross, like that was one with Mac. That Insomniac song, where he just like sent it to me one day. He didn't even tell me like who was on it. He was like, just, like check this out, and then Rick Ross was on there, and he said he was butt naked in his chopper. So I was like, that was crazy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, shit like that.
Damn. Yeah, that's huge, right? That feeling's got to be crazy. And then you're hearing songs on the radio, songs on CDs you're playing that you produce. That's crazy, man. No, but we appreciate you coming out here and fucking with us here at a bunch of Bull Studios.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. One more time, can you give the people your socials, how they can get a hold of you if they need to do that?
Big Jerm 412.
That's all social media sites.
Yep.
All of that. Get a hold of my man. Tap in with him.
Yep. Big Jerm 412 at Gmail too.
There you go.
Any business stuff. So yeah.
Please, and keep it about business.
Yep.
Indeed. All right. Once again, thank you for having me, or thank me for having you. Somebody's thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that as well. Like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff that you got to do. Once again, thank you for coming, Jerm. I appreciate you, bro.